Good morning, folks. I've been told by some of you that the video I posted yesterday had no sound. So I went to look and see if maybe it was just a mistake in the computer, and no, I forgot to press unmute on the microphone. So I recorded a 15-minute video yesterday that none of you could hear. There's a reason it's called Murphy's Law. It's named after me, and I apologize to those of you who went to watch that video and found that it was soundless. Just a couple of things I want to touch on briefly this morning. We're going to start off with talking about Essay 3, which I will show you now. The prompt that was on Blackboard for most of the semester for Essay 3 is no longer in use. I think you'll be relieved because that prompt was a large research paper, 5 pages. You'll be relieved to find that I'm not asking that of you. Essay 3, we're thinking about the value of literature. And we've been reading literature all semester. We've read Plato's Allegory of the Cave and The Lottery and MLK's Letter from Birmingham Jail and Modest Proposal. And I made you read these because the second half of the English experience in the core curriculum is 1102, which is a literature-based class. And what I find is that a lot of students get sort of pushed out of the nest from composition into literature, and they don't have much preparation. So what I want to do is get to talking with you about the value of literature and why it is that we interpret and analyze literature. And that is the main distinction that I want to make. When I ask you to write a paper on something you have read, I do not want you to simply regurgitate to me what you have read, right? I want you instead to put forth an argument about what the text is doing, focusing on the textual specifics. And that, I feel, is much more difficult. Most of the time when I ask you to write about literature, I get a lot of summary. I don't want any summary. You could summarize a little bit to provide context, but you do not need to give me a play-by-play of what occurred in a given text. Instead, you need to put forth an argument about how that text functions and why it is useful. So here is the essay prompt, and I'll just read it to you. Essay 3, the value of literature. The due date for that is Wednesday, July 28th at 11:59 p.m. It is 3 pages long and 1,000 words, which is about 3 pages. MLA format. Okay. Throughout the semester, we have read and discussed several short works of literature to help provoke thoughtful discussion. Plato's Allegory of the Cave, Shirley Jackson's The Lottery, Martin Luther King's Letter from Birmingham Jail, and Jonathan Swift's A Modest Proposal. Each of these works gives us insight into the human condition and helps us to rationalize the world around us. But how do these works function on a technical level? What strategies or literary devices does the author use to help get their point across? Training yourself to read literature critically is a vital skill, especially for 1102, composition and literature. The final essay is designed to give you some practice with literature before moving on to 1102, a course which most students are required to take. For your final essay, produce a thesis-driven response to the following question. What can literature tell us about the society in which we live? As evidence for your response, closely analyze textual specifics using direct quotes from one or more of the texts we have read this semester. Please include parenthetical citations with the author's last name and page number from each text. Please also include a works cited page, which I have given you here. Here's the works cited. Now you don't want to just, if you don't use all of these, you don't want to copy all of them. But because they came from the internet, there were just random PDFs floating around out there, I decided to go ahead and just give you the citation for the works cited. You'll still have to do parenthetical citations with author's last name and page number, but you won't have to worry about looking up all that painstaking information. So that makes me officially the nicest guy in history. So if you have any questions about this, please email me. I'm going to talk a little bit about how it is that we write about literature here shortly. But I'm going to do this video in installments. So take a look at that prompt on Blackboard when you get a chance, and please email me if you have questions.